If you think nobody cares, if you're alive, try missing a couple of car payments. School is meant to prepare us for the real world, but it has its flaws. One major flaw is the lack of emphasis on financial literacy. Many crucial monetary decisions only happen once in life, and there's rarely room for error. That's why having a fundamental understanding of finance is so important. One of the most important rules to remember is that money does not simply lie on the street, waiting to be picked up. Rarely do opportunities for risk-free profit arise, just as it is uncommon to see a sheep eating a wolf. And keep in mind, higher potential returns also mean greater risk, while safer investments typically have lower yields. Risk and reward go hand in hand. Be cautious of anyone who promises incredible returns without any risk involved. Of course, if you're looking for a thrill, you could take a gamble and try your luck. But remember that this type of success is usually found in casinos, which are always owned by the wealthiest people around. Here are some fundamental guidelines to keep in mind. Always prioritize the family budget, followed by your goals, and finally consider the investment itself. First principle, don't spend all your income. Start by saving at least 10% of your earnings, no matter how difficult it may be. No one ever became wealthy by spending every penny they earned. The key word here is start. Without this initial step, you may find yourself with nothing left to save at the end of the month. And the phrase, at least, is just as important. It's vital to save even more. If possible, trust me, you won't regret it. Of course, if you live alone and work in a uranium mine, saving may not be a top priority. But once you reach 30 and have a family to support, saving can't be ignored. Second principle, fulfilling necessary needs. But what exactly? First and foremost, the following three things: unforeseen circumstances, old age, education for children, and in that specific order of significance. How? Shouldn't securing a child's future come before preparing for retirement? In reality, it is more feasible to obtain loans or scholarships for education rather than for retirement savings. 1. The unexpected situations or the philosophy of peaceful sleep. Life is full of unexpected events, and they are not always positive. A house fire, a car theft, the loss of a loved one, or causing harm to others can have devastating effects. This is where insurance comes in as a potential solution. However, it's important to understand that insurance should not be treated as an investment. Instead, we pay for peace of mind and to protect our loved ones' quality of life. So what exactly do we need insurance for? The answer varies depending on each person's circumstances, but there are four key areas I want to highlight. Housing. Owning a home is a significant investment, and many people cannot afford to take the risk of its value depreciating. Even if you choose not to insure your belongings, it is still wise to have basic insurance for your house or apartment. Life insurance. It is important for the breadwinner of a family, especially young individuals, to have life insurance in case of death or permanent injury. While you are young, the cost of life insurance tends to be lower. Liability insurance. This type of insurance covers any damage that may be caused by an accident or negligence, such as accidentally flooding your downstairs neighbor's apartment. Car insurance typically covers accidents, while home insurance can cover other types of liability. Travel insurance. If you are planning on traveling to places like mountains, deserts, seas, or foreign countries, it is recommended to have travel insurance. This can also include areas with high-risk activities like Area 51. Insurance should be obtained for situations that could have a significant financial impact. For smaller inconveniences, having easily accessible savings may suffice. old age, you wonderful. Have you considered becoming a Buddhist monk when you retire? If not, it's important to have enough money saved. The goal is to maintain a comfortable standard of living with a lower income. We won't have to spend money on commuting to work, paying off a mortgage. It's best to retire without debt, and most expenses related to raising children. However, we may end up spending more on medication in retirement. In general, we should aim for about 75 to 80% of our previous net salary to sustain our retirement lifestyle. When our mission is accomplished and we have saved enough money to retire, let's play a game of chance at a casino and bet it all on red. Just kidding. It would be wiser to invest in an annuity contract from an insurance company, especially if we are still healthy and can enjoy the benefits for years to come. This will give us security and stability even if we live for 100 years. Another option is to continue investing and withdraw 4% of our funds each year. This allows for more flexibility in case of unexpected circumstances. But what if our income is below average? The good news is that the government offers higher benefits to low-income earners compared to those who earn more. We could also choose to keep working after reaching retirement age as long as our health allows. Lastly, for those without heirs or in a situation where their children and grandchildren do not rely on them financially, there is the option of a reverse mortgage. In this arrangement, the bank pays us a monthly amount on the condition that they will inherit our property when we pass away. 3. The best investment. Let's say the average household brings in an income of $80,000 per year. By saving 10% of your earnings after having a child, you can accumulate about $144,000 over the course of 18 years with a conservative approach. But what if it is not feasible to save up enough money for college expenses? Should your child consider taking out a loan? If there is a good chance that they will successfully complete their education, then yes. After all, student loans often have lower interest rates and can lead to higher-paying jobs with a quality degree. The general rule is to never take on debt that exceeds your expected annual salary upon graduation. Third principle, understand your credit. Top rule, keep your loan payments below 40% of your income. 1. Housing expenses. Whether you're just starting out or at the height of your career, aim to keep your housing costs under 1/3 of your income. Second, if you need to take out a car loan, follow the 24-10 guideline. Put down at least 20% up front, limit the loan term to 4 years, and make sure the monthly repayments don't exceed 10% of your family's income. Loans and credit are useful tools that allow us to travel through time. With them, we can use money from the future to purchase things in the present, such as a house or a car. However, not everyone becomes a CEO, and it's impossible to predict our financial situation in the future. So we must be cautious with how we utilize these options. To start, let's discuss housing, the top concern for most young families. We must first weigh the pros and cons of buying versus renting. If we frequently change jobs or locations, renting may be a more practical option. It could also be a wise choice if homes are unaffordable or if we do not wish to take out a loan. However, if you decide on a mortgage, try to put down at least 15% of the home's worth as a down payment. This helps protect against potential drops in property value. While home ownership means no long-term rent payments, it's still worthwhile negotiating an early repayment clause without any fees in the contract. For added security, consider locking in your interest rate for a minimum of 5 years and taking out the loan in the local currency. Mortgages and home loans offer some diversity, but taking out other types of loans, such as consumer discretionary loans or credit cards, requires careful consideration. The amount borrowed can quickly add up, so I advise against reckless spending. Instead, follow the stretch until your blanket hits the floor principle. Don't borrow more than you need. Be sure to thoroughly compare all available options before accepting any offers. And most importantly, take a closer look at the loan agreement and read the fine print using a magnifying glass to avoid any surprises. To sum it all up, the perfect budget should include 10 to 20% of your income for savings, retirement, and your children's education. Another 25% is allocated for housing, while 10% goes towards transportation expenses such as cars. The remaining 50% is for daily expenses. Once you have all necessary insurances and costs covered, and if your budget allows, you can consider investing. If you like this video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching until the end. Have a great day.